Whole sports all plays. Yeah. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Whole sports all plays.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this podcast forever, and this is the worst damn podcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to G.W.R. Gonzo's Wrestling Room, to our Royal Rumble preview show. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez, Marcus Fine, and Austin Gonzalez. How's it going?
What's up?
I'm asleep.
You're asleep.
Still have sleep. Man, trying to wake up.
Hey, how's it going, Billy? How's it going, Bill? Jordan Bell in here with us tonight already. Billy bet on the Sixers.
Yeah, that's not going good. Glenn tried to tell you, take the Pacers tonight. Look, Glenn's at the game, right?
Yeah,
for sure he's at the game.
Yeah, he's at the game.
It's in Indy, he is.
Yep.
Well, that don't mean he could be wherever they're at on the road, too, knowing Glenn.
Yeah,
So.
you never know with him. You never know with Glenn. He's crazy.
Yeah, he is at the game. I know that.
Well, get things started off. I figured since Monday we won't be doing much of a recap, just a little bit of the Royal Rumble recap on Monday, and also a little bit of independent wrestling. I thought I'd go over real quick some stuff that happened this week in pro wrestling. Real quick, Monday Night Raw. Really good show, man. I think Raw's just killing it. Man, what a physical show. The New Day and Imperium had a basically match that just went everywhere, and they beat the crap out of each other. Marcus, you might want to check it out.
Yeah.
Like street fights and stuff like that. Man, they were everywhere.
Oh, good.
And they beat the crap out of each other. It was really good. Also, another thing you might want to check out, the promo with Cody and CM Punk. It was really good. I mean, put it this way, Marcus, you know how I've been saying, and I still want Cody to finish story and take on Roman Reigns, but after that promo, I was ready for him and Punk to wrestle.
Good deal.
I was ready for them to go at it because I thought it was really well done. Thought it was really good. Also, I thought Priest and Drew had a really good match. I talked to Austin earlier in the week. I usually like most of the stuff that WWE done. I didn't care for the finish. They had R-Truth involved, and I love R-Truth. I think he's been killing it. But I thought the finish was pretty wonky. I didn't care for the finish. I thought it kind of hurt the match. But it was a really good show. Of the three shows so far I've seen this week, I thought it was the best show. NXT. Go ahead, Austin.
I was just gonna say I think they just did that finish because they needed a way to have Drew win without Priest losing momentum. Yeah. I think that's the only reason I can get why they did that. Yeah, but then again, why have the match in that first place if you don't want either one of them to lose? But
yeah, you're probably right, and plus they're going somewhere with this story with R-Truth and them. I don't know exactly where it's going to end up, but they're doing something there. And
Billy had a question real quick. Did Joey Owens win that match that night? Actually, I don't think he did. I think he lost to Mike King that night.
No, right after that, they went through the table.
They went through the
table, and he ended up losing that match to Mike King. Yeah, that night with the promo at the start of the show. Yeah, yeah. And when we say they went through that table, they pretty much missed the table. They hit the corner of the table, and man, they hit hard. I think Mike is still hurting from that, and Joey probably too. Don't want to leave Joey out. He'll get mad at me and take over my show, take over our show again. NXT real quick. Me and Austin have talked about this too because we talked to people might want to check out this new tag team, Braun Breaker and
They're great.
Baron. Man, they have been awesome. And Braun Breaker is doing the funny stuff,
Yeah.
and that's what I told Chris Marks. I'm sure you remember Mick Steiner first come in NWA. He was the comedy guy.
Mhm.
In the tag teams with and even before he got with Scott, he was the comedy guy in the Varsity Club. So it really reminded me of that, man. It's hilarious. And plus Baron is killing it too. So I think they got something there. I really like it. Really fast paced show. A lot of good storytelling. I really liked the show. I thought it was a good show. AEW Dynamite. Jeff Hardy had a real good match against Swerve. I thought I really enjoyed it. Adam Copeland, Edge took on Minoru Suzuki. Pretty good match. Pretty solid. A lot of chopping. That's what Suzuki likes to do. I thought it was pretty good. I think Tony Storm is still killing it. It was pretty cool. They had an interview segment, and they had one person on one side in color, and she's on the other side, and it's black and white. I thought that was really cool. As they shot it live that way, so I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was a pretty good show. One thing I didn't care for was the show opening with Samoa Joe and the promo with him and Hook.
I heard it wasn't good.
The Hook was. In my opinion, Hook was horrible.
Even AEW fans were saying that Hook was not good on the promo. I didn't watch it personally, but I seen a little clip and people were saying it wasn't that good. But.
Yeah, I didn't care for it at all.
Yeah.
Yep, that could be.
Yeah. I think they're just gonna ride the Seth Rollins thing until they know for sure he can't make WrestleMania, and if they have to pull an audible, they will. I think they're just hoping right now he's good for WrestleMania.
Yeah, and I like Hook, but I still think he's got a future. But I think it's one thing to have him down there and beating a lot of the wins ain't great wins that he had. I mean, they were fine, and he's 28-1, but you're almost skipping a step. He needs to go after a mid title before trying to step up into the big leagues, in my opinion. And I know they're trying to build him up, and that's even in a loss. But he's got to be able to speak on a mic too, or if he can't speak on a mic, you better give him somebody with him.
Yeah.
Drunk has a question. He says NFL playoffs forced him to subscribe to Peacock for a month. So for a casual WWE fan, how entertaining will this?
I mean, it's a Royal Rumble, so it should be pretty entertaining. If any pay-per-view to start, that's yeah.
Yeah, you say you're a casual fan. I don't know how much of a WWE fan. Marcus is a casual fan at best, and he's been watching quite a few of the pay-per-views with WWE.
Well, wait, we gotta rephrase that. He's a casual fan.
That was kind of weird.
WWE
Of WWE of TV product.
The 100th show a year as a casual fan.
Well, where'd that come from?
I'm talking about the TV product.
Yeah, but
Okay. I'm thinking,
some people watching might just think Marcus is some guy off a couch.
No, I apologize. Because Marcus is anything. Marcus is the top wrestling fan out there, especially within
100 shows a year, man.
100 shows a year, and probably 200 this year. But
yeah.
If anybody tell, hey, I'm asleep, leave me the f alone. No, but that's not the way I meant. But yeah, Marcus knew what I meant, but I probably didn't say it right. I'm half asleep. So, but
I'd say if there's any pay-per-view you want to watch and be entertained by, the Royal Rumble is usually the best one to go for.
Yeah, I love the Royal Rumble.
Especially these days when you get 2 Rumble matches instead of 1. So
that's what Bill just said. Rumble's the best PLE for non-regular consumers.
I think it's the best. For me, it's my favorite pay-per-view, and I've been watching wrestling forever.
I would agree with that, especially in the past. Now I think with WrestleMania being 2 nights and not being 6 hours long, I think WrestleMania is pretty good too. But I agree. I agree.
I've seen some WrestleManias that were shit. Where the
they've been really good the last couple of years, though.
Ever.
Yeah, but that's true. But the last few years, WrestleMania has been pretty good.
Oh yeah, WrestleMania has been good, but I know there's some there in the past. Like you're just thinking, like, well,
yeah, you're right.
Is that the mean cat?
This is the one that was from Menards. Yeah,
the mean one. You bought that cat
from
Menards?
No, I saved her from a parking lot in Menards while working.
Well,
Okay,
She was
maybe
like,
not me, but crazy cat. There we
Okay,
go.
she,
okay,
yeah.
Marcus. Grunt is kind of like you as far as when he says casual, meaning is he knows who's hot right now, but he doesn't watch on a weekly basis, and that would be you as far as
That's me
watching your
because when
league.
they get ready to go over this stuff, I'm not going to be able to contribute a lot because I don't
Yeah.
watch it every week.
Yeah, so like Marcus, when he watches the pay per views, when he does watch, well, Marcus, let you speak on that.
Well, basically, I watch the pregame show, is what they call it, and then I know what's going on. So,
And he pretty is, but he's been liking the products of
Well,
late.
and that's a good thing about WWE. You can like Marcus just said, you can watch the pre-show. If you watch that pre-show right before Royal Rumble, you're going to know they get you caught up on all the storylines
or
and
just
everything. You're going to know what's going on going into the Royal Rumble,
or just
even
yeah,
though
in
you haven't
between.
even though you haven't watched everything the last
Yep.
couple months.
Yep, I agree.
I know some people don't like all the video packages and stuff they do sometimes, but that's
I
one good.
like it. It gets me hyped for the matches.
Yep, I agree. Because you could forget a little something. Because well, I mean, I watch so much wrestling. I mean, because I watch everything on, I can forget something that's happened.
Or you might be taking a nap, miss something.
I will
Catch it when you watch it back.
I went to Olive Garden, got my belly good and full, and I was in there napping a little
I
bit.
do
in a
that.
break.
Hey, I do that with well, I've done it with WWE, but I do it with McAfee sometimes too. Where I'll fall asleep, have to go back.
Put it this way, guys. I got up. I slept maybe 2.5 hours. Got up and been running with my wife. Kelly will love this. I was at a place she likes,
Goodwill.
Goodwill. I was at Goodwill shopping before I went to. So she had me out shopping and then went to Olive Garden, and I was in here trying to take a nap. Chris wouldn't let me sleep. So he was in here. He made me get up and do a show that I was trying to make him do.
Yeah. I was gonna say he's the one. It was his idea to schedule the show.
Yeah, and I was there asleep. Okay, real quick before we get into our Royal Rumble stuff, just want to touch on some stuff that's been going on also this week. What do you guys think about Monday Night Raw going to Netflix?
I think it's great.
Have you also heard that at the end of the year that Peacock's going to lose the network too?
Yeah, okay.
They haven't really signed yet, right?
The 2026 is when that deal runs out. When they say they're going to lose the WWE network, that means for overseas, like all the overseas stuff. That's right now. Peacock is in America. All the other is WWE network is overseas, is ran by the WWE network. That'll switch over to Netflix. Not the Peacock stuff. Peacock will still be on there till the end of 2026.
Then are they going to move the library over?
I don't know. I probably will be. They could re-up with Peacock. They could move that. I'm sure there's going to be more money involved. It's going to be some kind of deal involved. I don't know how that's going to go.
Yeah, what the WWE network that'll be on Netflix right now will be for like all the foreign.
Yep.
A lot of the foreign, well, not all of them, but some of the foreign countries.
And a lot of the foreign countries. Also, Netflix will also provide I think pay-per-views too.
Okay, so you have to have Netflix to watch all the overseas pay-per-views. Okay.
Yeah, in India and a lot of the places like that. Yeah.
Well, like if a pay-per-view's overseas here in the United States, we'll still get it on Peacock.
Yeah.
But like the people overseas that watch the pay-per-views, they'll get it like on the Netflix.
Okay. Just tell me when the time comes where to watch the pay-per-view, Tony. And
okay, I will.
Mark's like, it's confusing the shit out of me.
It's a little confusing.
Well, I didn't know this. There's more people. USA has 70 million people that watch USA Network. Netflix has over 70 million subscribers. So they have more subscribers than USA.
Oh, yeah. Netflix has been the biggest streaming thing forever. I mean, they were the first really big one. They went down a little because there's more now, but they were always really, really popular.
And people that don't like that things are moving to this, you better get used to it. Because I think what's going to happen, like I told you yesterday, these streaming companies like Netflix and Amazon, Apple, they're going to start buying these TV networks.
No, I've seen that somewhere else, telling people you better get used to this streaming because that's what it's going to be.
Them TV networks because, like I told Dad, they can, like Cobra Kai, for example, on Netflix. When that new season comes out, if they own them TV networks, they can air the old seasons on the TV networks, and that'll drive people to go subscribe to Netflix to go watch it and get ready for the new season that's getting ready to be on Netflix.
See, Paramount and CBS is together, ABC and Disney together, NBC, Peacock's together. I mean, that's all. They're all together.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to see these bigger ones like Netflix and Amazon and Apple. I think start buying these TV networks because that they can use it to drive everybody to more people to their streaming platforms.
The other thing I think is going to be interesting is that if you have Netflix and you got the main package of Netflix, no commercials.
Yep.
Commercial free, and I heard a thing today that they're going to stay 3 hours long. I thought maybe they might cut it, but I heard they're going to stay at 3 hours.
So they just want
figured
to see what happens when the normal one goes off, like for the commercial break.
Yeah,
you'll get to see what happens between match. Okay, well that'd be interesting.
Yeah, so it'll
Like
be
the arena.
Yep.
And then you'll get to I forgot what to say.
No, they'll probably put those video.
Oh, it might move off of Monday night.
That's a possibility. Right now, it's still on Monday nights, but it could end up moving off Monday night to stay away from Monday Night Football.
Well, that's just smart.
Yeah.
Yep. Next up, real quick,
Billy said, "Got to get a second job for all this streaming." Laughing out loud.
But the thing is, it's not going to be any more expensive than cable. It's not. You get about 7 to 8 streaming services, going to be maybe $70, $80 total. Regular cable is probably at least that or more just for the regular package of cable. You might have to have more stuff to keep, track of, but
you don't get shit on the regular cable package either. You don't get half the sports stuff.
And with all the streaming services, you're going to be getting all the stuff that you need. So I personally think it's a good step for there to be in Netflix.
I know when I had Comcast, I just got the internet Comcast now, but when I had Comcast and I didn't even get all the channels, I didn't have the pay-per-view channels and stuff like that, I was paying over $250 a month.
Yeah, exactly. As in the average streaming is about $10 for the basic plan. So,
yep. Next up, Seth Rollins been injured. He did not relinquish the belt Monday night. What do you guys think? What's going to happen? What are they going to do with Seth?
I think they still plan on doing Seth versus CM Punk right now for WrestleMania. I think they're just going to see. They're going to try to know maybe at least a month or a couple weeks before WrestleMania if he can come back or not. And if not, they're going to do an audible, most likely with maybe Drew or Cody. Depends if they do the Cody and Roman thing. It all depends if The Rock's going to be at WrestleMania too for Roman. So, but I still think they're going to try to have CM Punk versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania.
And Chris, what do you think? What do you do? What do you do if Rollins doesn't wrestle? Where do you go?
I don't know where they'll go because I kind of agree with Austin. I think it's going to probably Rollins and Punk.
Now,
personally,
a story did hit the newsstand. Sports Illustrated came out, and see what you guys think of this. They said they've got the spoilers, and they released this. They said that the main events are going to be Punk against Cody Rhodes, Roman against The Rock, and Gunther versus Seth Rollins.
No,
I don't think,
that's what I think.
Seth will be ready for that. Seth and Cody together because Seth and Cody already worked together when one of them was injured and the other one wasn't. So they could take care of each other.
That's a good point.
Gunther, I think I can't see if Seth's hurt. Gunther's not the guy you want to
know how bad he's hurt too.
Yeah.
I mean, is he even? But right now they think he's going to be able to.
They said
wrestle
up to 3 months, so it's going to be right close. It's going to be close if they think he's ready or not. It really just depends how rehab goes. But I don't like that idea. Only reason I like that idea if Roman and The Rock is not for the belt. I don't want to see that for the belt at WrestleMania. Cody deserves to be in the belt match. I don't want to see that.
Let me ask you this: do you have a problem if it's Cody, Roman, and The Rock? And
as long as Cody wins, no.
Yeah.
As long as Seth or as long as Roman don't, I don't give a damn who they put in there.
If they do that triple threat, I'm fine with that at WrestleMania. But I don't want Roman and The Rock at WrestleMania for the belt. I'm fine with Roman and The Rock at WrestleMania.
No,
I agree with you. I think if they do it, the belt shouldn't be involved.
But the thing is, it will still be a main event.
WrestleMania. You gotta have a title match. Roman's got to have the title on the line against somebody.
Most likely.
But yeah, don't put it against The Rock or don't. No.
Yeah.
If Rollins is out, could you go Orton and Punk?
I think. Yeah, that's interesting.
It'll be good to see.
I don't know where they go.
If you go Cody and Roman,
Do you have a problem if they take the belt off? If Seth's gone, and you have a problem if Punk and Cody for a belt?
I'm fine with that. I would personally rather Cody win the WWE Championship, but as long as he gets a main event and wins the title, I guess it's okay. I'd personally rather him win the WWE though, because I just feel like the WWE is still the main title to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one to win, and that's the one I want to win.
I second that. I wouldn't care if the Red Rooster walked in there, as long as he took that belt off of Roman. I say that because I see Red Rooster and all these Royal Rumbles here today. So
that's crazy. A lot of people don't know how good of a wrestler Red Rooster was. He was.
I know they screwed him there.
Marcus would root for Shawn Michaels against Roman.
Yes, I would. Shoot, I'd do Ref Cody against Roman as long as he took the belt off. I mean, I wouldn't care.
I think if Rollins doesn't wrestle, I think you could do maybe Drew versus CM Punk and possibly have Priest cash in at WrestleMania. Because, I mean, they've had Drew and CM Punk kind of have a little interactions and stuff.
I think the thing would have been cool, what they should have done. If they knew right now there's no way that Rollins wasn't going to wrestle, I'd say you take that belt and you put it up for the Royal Rumble, and like they did in '92, and have the winner win the Rumble.
See, and I think
that would be cool because it ain't been done for a long time.
And that's why I think that they are still on the Seth versus Punk train. Because if they really weren't on that, I think they would have him just relinquish it. You know, I don't think there's any reason for him to keep the belt unless they think that he has a good shot to be there for WrestleMania. So that's why I still think that they're still going to try with that.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Okay, guys, we'll get into the Rumble a little bit. First matchup for the Rumble, Kevin Owens and Logan Paul. Speaking of that, Logan Paul has, I don't know what his contract was previous, but he has re-signed up for more time, for more contract. Now, I don't know if it's 6 months at a time or a year at a time when he's signing, but he did re-sign.
Is he the U.S. champ?
Yes, he is the U.S. champ. His belt, the belt's on the line. Kevin Owens and Logan Paul. What do you guys think is going to happen there?
It'll be good. Logan will retain.
Team Brad. Finally over 100 pounds.
21 years.
I don't know who's going to win that match, honestly. I'm up in the air. I mean, it's Logan's first defense, but I don't think he's going to hold the belt much.
I don't think
I probably agree. I think Logan keeps it. I don't know how. I don't think it'll be fully clean, though. I mean, Kevin's been a thing with like Austin Theory and Waller. Maybe one of them, interferes or something. But
I think it's going to be a really good match.
I think so too.
Because I think Logan Paul always steps up, and Kevin Owens is fantastic, and Kevin will even get more out of him than. So I think it's going to be a great match. I think I'm going to have to go with Logan Paul too. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Logan Paul's going to retain. I kind of agree with Austin. I think somebody's going to interfere.
Let me ask you, next matchup. You got Roman Reigns. I'm going to regular matches, and then we'll go to the Rumbles. Randy Orton, LA Knight, and Styles. Is there any chance at all that if you're going to have The Rock and Roman at WrestleMania, and that could be a main event? I think it could be a main event match without the belt. Do you think that they could have him lose here? Maybe The Rock comes out and costs him the belt, and that's what gets things going. Do you think there's any chance Roman loses?
Probably not, but there is part of me that always thinks that like maybe they could do that and do Roman versus Rock without the belt and have Randy win. I don't think AJ or LA Knight wins. I think the only other thing is Randy wins, and then you have Cody versus Randy, which I'm totally down for.
Yeah, you could have Cody and Randy for the belt at WrestleMania.
I'd be totally down. I don't think it'll happen, but that's the only
story between them two.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that makes
I don't think that would happen.
Yeah. If Roman don't retain, Randy'd have to take it. The other two don't make sense.
No. I agree. Even though the only thing that would make sense with LA,
give it to LA Knight.
The LA Knight is so hot that could make sense. But
I would like it if they gave it to LA Knight.
But if they give it to LA Knight, who are you gonna have wrestle?
Yeah, I don't see LA Knight going in the WrestleMania.
I don't know that the fans would root for Cody over LA Knight.
I can't see
would.
LA Knight going to
Yeah, I know
WrestleMania.
you would, but I think it'd be split.
I can see
Yeah,
LA Knight being a champion going into another pay per view, but the WrestleMania, no, I can't see that.
yeah, I don't think it's LA's night.
If they were going to take it off of Roman this weekend, I think it would be Orton.
Marcus, this will make you happy. Billy Buzz says, "Go Roman." He's a Roman Reigns fan.
You know, he would be. He also likes Luke Savage, so. But I like Luke Savage too, so that's.
Hey, I went to high school with him.
Yep, you did.
Well, that's your problem, though. I like Luke. Luke's a good guy.
So, what do you think, Austin? You think Roman's going to retain?
I would say that 99% yes, but if they do anything else, I think Randy is the way to go, and I think there's a chance that could happen, but I don't think it's a very big chance.
Internet would explode if they done that.
I think it would be great. I think it would be great if they did that.
I got a question.
Take the belt off of Roman Saturday night. Internet will explode.
I got a question. So if Roman's going to retain Austin, who do you think he's going to pin?
Who's going to pin? Probably AJ or LA Knight. I don't think he'll pin Randy.
I don't see him pinning Randy either.
I think they're going to keep him safe.
I don't think you have him pin LA Knight because he's so hot. You don't want to hurt him.
I think AJ's the safest bet.
You could pin Orton. It ain't going to hurt Orton.
I mean, I don't think it'll hurt him, but
I think if you pin, I think it's going to be Orton or Styles because I think LA losing again would hurt him. I don't think it hurts the other two.
That's true. Yeah.
I think AJ is the safest bet to take the pin because he's not really anywhere set right now. He can do another story somewhere. He just came back. He doesn't have as much as Randy's come back, so I think that's probably the safest bet.
That makes sense.
I think Knight and Styles are going to feud.
It kind of sound a little boring, but hey.
Boring.
Well, I wasn't going to bring this up, but somebody else just did. Any thoughts on the Brock Lesnar and the Vince McMahon story that's been going around, guys?
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I think right now, I mean, I know there's been a suit filed, but there's nothing been done as far as anybody arrested or anything like that. So I'd say for now, we just we leave it alone. But I think Roman's going to win, and I think that there's going to be somebody, and I don't even know who, but I think somebody surprising is going to show up and help Roman.
Oh no, you think so?
You don't have an idea.
I'm talking about somebody different, not the normal guy. Not the normal two guys. I think the normal two guys will get involved, but I think somebody else is going to get involved. So that's kind of my prediction, but I'm going to go with Roman. Next up, the Women's Royal Rumble. What are you guys thinking? Who do you think is going to win this?
All right, so here's my thing. Right now, they're pushing Becky versus Rhea, it seems like. I don't think Becky's going to win the Rumble. I think Becky's going to be maybe Final Four. Rhea comes out and eliminates her. And then Becky maybe win the Elimination Chamber to get that match. I think Bayley wins the Royal Rumble and faces Io Sky at WrestleMania.
I can't argue that. I put down four names, and my first one was Becky. My second one was Bayley. You're gonna hate both you and Marcus. Gonna both hate my third one, Nia Jax, and my fourth one would be a big surprise. Would be Sasha Banks.
I'm fine with all those but Nia.
I knew that
To win it.
Yes.
No, I don't want Sasha Banks to win it either.
I'm okay if Sasha wins it just because it's not like she's someone new. She still has history with both that has belts. I think you could do something. I've also heard people say Liv, which I think Liv deserves to win the Rumble, and she might come back.
Yeah, Bianca.
Yeah,
Belair could be one. I think that could win it.
But who's the next? Who do you think the next lady that they're going to push is going to be?
Like, are you talking? Well, like newer one that gets like the first push or something?
If you want a new feud to go with the champ, who do you think that ought to be?
I don't know exactly. Like I said, I think it seems like they're really pushing for Becky versus Rhea, which I'm down for.
I think the two. I think the two WrestleMania matches, like he said, I think it's going to be Bayley and Io somehow, and I think it's going to be Becky. I do think the one girl, Raquel Rodriguez. She's out because she's ill. She got some kind of
What
disease,
about
and she got some kind of disease, and they ain't been able to figure it out. I think that she was getting close to being in line, and she could have been somebody that could have challenged. And there's history there between her and Rhea, but I think that's why she's out right now.
what about Zoe Stark?
I don't think it's Zoe's time yet, even though I think she's good enough.
I think Zoe is going to be the Iron Woman this WrestleMania, though. I think she's going to be in there for at least 40 minutes or so. I think she's going to be a big part of the Rumble.
Yeah, but I don't see her main event. No, I can't see her going on WrestleMania.
Austin or Chris, help me out because I can't remember her name. I'm sorry, I've been asleep. But the girl that came over from AEW.
That tells me a lot.
Jade? Yeah. Jade,
I think she debuted.
I think she may debut at the Rumble.
I think she debuts and probably eliminates a lot of people.
Some of those NXT guys out or ladies out.
If she debuted, they could have her win it.
Yeah. Well, how would you feel about that, Austin? If she came in, debuted, and won the Rumble?
If she was to win it, I'm okay with that. But they need to scrap the Becky match with Rhea because I only think the match would work at WrestleMania would be her and Rhea, and not her and Io.
I think there's only 2 matches for her that right now that I'd want to see. I would love to see her against Rhea, or I'd want to see her against
Bianca.
Yeah.
I could see her maybe debuting at the Rumble, eliminating Bianca, and then they have a singles match for no belt at WrestleMania.
That's a good idea.
Maybe she just had, she eliminates maybe 4 or 5 people, maybe gets eliminated by, a lot of people that shows her being strong.
And isn't there a pay-per-view before WrestleMania?
Yeah.
Elimination Chamber.
Or PLE, I should say.
You gonna get up and watch that, Austin?
I have to work that morning, so no.
It's 5 a.m.
I know.
Watch it before you go to work.
Nah. It sucks, but no. I got to work that weekend. I got to work this weekend for the Rumble, and I got to work the WrestleMania weekend.
Well, I think it's time to talk to your boss and straighten
WrestleMania weekend. That's not. You're off before WrestleMania will be on. Though.
Yeah.
No, I'll get off in time to watch it, but I still have to work. But yeah, that's my predictions. I think Bayley wins the Rumble because they've been pushing them, kind of getting her out of damage control. Maybe Sasha comes back and she has Sasha on her side. I think that could work if Sasha does come back. But I think you're going to get to be Rhea and Becky and Bayley and Io. I think either one of those 2 wins the Rumble and the other one wins the Elimination Chamber. But I think Bayley makes more sense to win the Rumble because she hasn't won one.
Who do you think is going to be the surprise entrance?
AJ Lee.
AJ Lee could be one. Yeah, I think I talked to you last night. And I'm having a brain fart again. The one help me out, Austin. One that been out pregnant.
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss. I think we could see
Naomi's going to be back probably.
I think Naomi, yeah, because she's left Impact. I think she could be back there.
Sasha is supposed to be also a rumor.
So the one you were watching was recorded.
That was recorded. Yeah, she lost that match. I think your favorite. I would be shocked to see Trish Stratus back.
No, I
think she comes back.
They got to fill.
I'd like to see Victoria back. I think they're going to NXT. Maybe Fallon Henley would be good for NXT.
The one I think she'd be perfect for the Rumble. The one that's really came on as of late. We talked about Lash Legend.
She'd be good. Put her and Jade Cargill against each other.
She was one that I thought 6 months ago, Marcus, I thought she was terrible, and I didn't think she was ever going to make it. And I don't know, something clicked, and she has, really gotten good. Really gotten good. On the mic and in the ring.
They could also have Tiffany Stratton there, too. She'd be good in the Rumble.
Tiffany. That's the thing. They've got a lot of people in NXT. We can see Braun Breaker. See Baron Corbin. There's a lot of people that they can bring up. They've got so many people. Okay, let's go to the men's Rumble.
I think Lita.
Lita? You can see Lita there.
We haven't seen her since she got
in there.
Hey, could we see Mickie James show up just for that?
I bet we do.
Her husband's on SmackDown. So, okay, let's go to the men's Rumble, guys. What are you thinking? Who do you think might win this men's Rumble?
Did you hear the funny that they put out? That Hogan was going to be the surprise entrance in the Rumble and then go off and beat Reigns at WrestleMania.
I don't think that's going to happen. But
no, I don't think it'll happen either. But boy, I laughed about it when I read it.
I do think Hulk Hogan may be in the Rumble.
Oh God!
Did you imagine?
I think that 40-year
No, I've seen the
anniversary.
Rumble, but
It won't
It's in-
surprise me at all if he is
it's
because
in Florida.
of the 40-year anniversary just happening,
And
and it's in
It's
Florida.
in Florida. I wouldn't be shocked to see him in it.
but no, to take on Roman,
No,
I hope they don't go down that road.
Oh, he won't win the Rumble, but I think
He'll be in the final four.
have him come in 30 and maybe eliminate 2 or 3 guys real quick or something. And everybody be going crazy.
I don't know what to pick for. I think the only thing that makes sense right now is CM Punk. I don't know. It all depends on if with Seth being out. I don't know. Maybe they know something that we don't. Maybe Seth's not going to come. Maybe Drew wins it. I think CM Punk's the safest bet, but I honestly have no idea for the men.
I'm going with CM Punk to win it. My second choice is Gunther. My third choice, because you got to get him, you got to get him in there somehow if he's going to wrestle some way. If he's going to end up wrestling Roman, what about The Rock shows up?
If he wins the Rumble, it's going to be the worst Rumble ever.
And then another one that if Cody was number 30 last year, what if you have him number 1? And
You cut out what you say?
What if Cody
I hate
comes
when
in
they
at
do
number
that.
1 and wins the Rumble?
Because
Because last year he was number 30.
I don't think Cody wins 2 years in a row. I think he's going to make it far. They're gonna make the thing where he was so close to getting kind of like Shawn Michaels trying to get his second match at Undertaker at WrestleMania. He was so close, gets eliminated. I think Cody wins Elimination Chamber or something like that to get the match. I don't think he wins the Rumble.
He would be my 4th pick, but if you see him number 1, that could
I think
think about that.
I think CM Punk's going to win it, and then he's going to challenge Rollins, unless they change it, maybe change it because they think not knowing if Rollins is going to be available or
Okay,
not.
now
I think to me that's what their plan is, and then Elimination Chamber build to Cody and Roman.
one question is,
But if you're going to do The Rock,
I didn't mean to go back to this, but with Brock's name being brought up in a bad way, and a lot of people thought it was going to be Brock and Gunther at WrestleMania. Now, if that's gone, do you have Gunther take on Seth? And do they switch things up? I mean, does that put a monkey wrench in everything? And do you have Gunther win the Rumble?
No, I don't see Gunther winning the Rumble.
No, I don't think Gunther wins the Rumble. I'm not against him winning the Rumble. I just
Gunther
don't
was the
know
last
if it
one eliminated
fits.
last year, and he came in at 1 or 2.
Yeah, I just don't think Gunther winning the Rumble this year fits. I would like to see him win the Rumble, but this year I just don't think it fits.
So you think Punk's going to win it? What about you?
I think either Punk or Cody is what I think.
What about you, Marcus? What are you thinking?
There's too many options. I really couldn't come up with one.
I'll just throw in one that I would like to see. I think it'd be cool. I'd like to see Jey Uso. I think there's a storyline there. If they don't go with Cody versus Roman, Jey Uso, maybe they throw a triple threat. Maybe Cody, Jey, and Roman. I don't know. No, Rock's out. I don't want to hear about The Rock. But yeah, Jey Uso would be cool.
Well, we know one thing. If The Rock comes in at number 30, he's going to probably win it.
I don't want to see The Rock at WrestleMania.
I'm not saying you want to see it. I'm just telling you. If Rock shows up at number 30, he's probably going to win the Sunday.
Well, I wouldn't mind seeing The Rock at WrestleMania. He should just never be in a main event. I hate that shit where these guys work all year long and then they bring these guys in at the last minute.
They're going to do
event spots. That's bullshit.
They're doing the same thing to Cody that did to Punk 10 years ago.
Well, it's like when they brought in Batista at the last minute. And they
I didn't mind that as much.
It's like,
I don't know. I didn't mind the Batista thing as much.
Batista will be okay.
And who knows? They might not even have a Rock, and Rock might not even wrestle at WrestleMania.
May not now. I mean, maybe the head of the table he really is the head of the table because he's on that board now making $30 million a year or whatever. $30 million for 2 years. He is the head of the board. Maybe that's what he was talking about, head of the table. Who would you guys like to be surprised show up?
I think I already told you. I think McAfee's going to be in it. I really
It could be. I don't know.
Well, you got head of the table. I think Rikishi'd be interesting if he were to just happen to. I mean, those surprise entrants are only in there briefly.
I know they won't do it because they got so much talent. And they don't want to take up 3 spots, but I think the 3 faces of Foley would be cool.
Yeah, I don't
Hurricane
see that.
probably is a pretty safe bet. Hurricane comes back a lot.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe Fit Finley. I'd be okay with that. He's there too. He's always there.
Well, some people. Is there any like the older guys other than Hogan that lives or is
Stone Cold.
around the Florida area?
Oh, I'm sure a lot of them do
You
live
know what I
in the
mean? Because
Florida.
you might get somebody like that.
I don't know. I think we see more surprises in the women's than we do the men's.
Ric Flair.
Yeah, I said Ric Flair
If
earlier.
we have
I thought,
Hogan
yeah,
and Flair in the
Cody
Rumble
Hogan
in
and Flair in the Rumble.
2024, oh my God.
Okay, let me ask you this.
We'll
now.
bring out Steamboat as well.
We don't know.
I'm fine with Steamboat.
I'm gonna throw a name out there. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna throw it out there because it's not impossible. By MJF guys.
That would be awesome.
No,
Yeah, that would be pretty
I'm
impressive.
okay with it,
I would-
but he's
I'm not,
supposed to
I'm
be
not
really
even, I'm
hurt.
not even saying to win the Rumble. I'm saying being in the Rumble.
I'm okay with him being in there, but I think he is actually really hurt. I don't see what AEW has to gain from
If he
saying he's
debuted-
hurt and then
If
him
he
going.
debuted at the Rumble, people would go. That
That would
would
break the internet.
that would break their internet as
It
well.
would. It would. If he
It'd start a freaking war between
showed up at number 30,
AEW fans on
Oh,
the internet and the
the-
WWE
no,
fans.
no.
Oh,
Oh,
it'd be a war.
There's someone we haven't talked about.
Tony
Oh,
Khan,
don't turn on Tony Khan.
if he lost Punk,
AEW fans will turn on Tony Khan.
Cody
Hey.
left, Punk left, Jay Cargill left, and now MJF left. He'd be in
Hey,
trouble.
there's someone we haven't talked about that has a real good shot to actually be in the men's rumble.
Okay.
Okada.
Okada's not impossible.
Okada could if he. I mean, yeah, I think it could be like a CM Punk showing the Survivor Series. He could sign very late and enter the Rumble, and that'd be a really good way to have him come in.
I think a good one would be if have Corey Graves jump in there, and then right after that, have McAfee be the one that comes out and throws him out.
Because they hate
talked
each other.
about a feud
Yeah, they
between-
talked about them. Robert says William Regal.
Yeah, he could be a possibility to be in there.
I'm just happy he's back on the screens at least. You know, he's been back for like a year, but he can be on screen now.
Yes, he can.
Stone Cold would be cool if he showed up.
That's not a possible Stone Cold, I don't think. What about Booker
Stone
T?
Cold makes every Rumble. Yeah, he was there last year.
But what about Booker T?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
that's what I'm
might
saying.
get
He was there
JBL.
last year.
Can I get JBL briefly?
Yep.
We're gonna get Michael Cole again.
Ron,
Wade Barrett. There we go.
Ron Simmons.
That'd be cool.
Okay, guys. Well,
We'll get Diesel in there. I mean,
X Pac or X Pac.
I've actually JC's said that she's heard X Pac is like a very big rumor that he might be there this year. Actually,
Goldberg.
Triple H.
Or had
I
Cody
know
there.
I know one. And Austin will like this. Big E.
oh, I'd
Yeah,
love it, but
that'd be
I don't
good.
think he's ever gonna wrestle again. Sadly, I don't know if he really should.
Did he get hurt or?
Yeah,
His neck got broken. That dude's a
Okay, I
big
thought I
dude.
heard
Be
that.
breaking his
Yeah.
neck.
Triple H.
I thought
I don't think he can be in the ring anymore, can he?
not supposed to be.
That'd be cool.
But if anybody would do it, he'd do it.
Oh hell, they put Shane McMahon in there. You know, it's about time for him to show up for a while.
He's gonna be in the final four, outboxing
Shane McMahon
everybody.
and Goldberg will be in the match, and
We'll put Austin in a mask and he can be the Mexican jumping bean. I ain't doing it.
I'd do it. Let's do it.
Okay, guys. What's some of your favorite memories from the Rumbles?
Austin, you go down to WCWO and start
Yeah,
training.
We get to train.
Hell, you're no smaller than Cody.
And I think I
that's
can
what
get
I'm saying. If you talk to Cody, you can get the mask off of him.
Marcus,
So,
I think, Austin, I think I can get this approved. I'll even pay for your training. I'll pay for you to go down there on Tuesdays and Sundays. Chris will drive you. There you go. There's your spot.
I'm gonna record the training.
Well, I agree.
Record all of it.
What do you think?
Be good content.
I would be too good for everybody. It wouldn't be fair.
we'll listen
So
to
we'll
him.
just leave it at that.
Listen to him.
So some of our favorites and just moments,
Yeah.
memory.
Moments, memories, matches, anything.
I'll start off with the old one just because it always stuck with me watching it, old Rumbles with you, and I had a DVD with it on there, and I watched it all the time. I had a Shawn Michaels DVD, so the Royal Rumble with him and British Bulldog it's the first time they did the only 1 foot touch the ground thing. They started the whole thing with that. That's a great moment. I've always loved that moment. Thought the way they did it was great, and it's one of the best moments in Rumble's history.
I just watched that earlier. I got a whole page of them.
Yep, me too.
I got quite a few.
Ric Flair when he debuted and won the Rumble, and then the
Flair in 92
promo.
Yeah,
Got that one. Got
Tier
that one.
9, 92. Yeah. The other one I really enjoyed was Drew when he eliminated Brock Lesnar.
Yep, I have that on here.
The 2020.
That was great. The only thing that would have made that better if that was the last elimination.
Yeah, I agree.
They would have kept Brock in there, maybe slow down his run, so he's not eliminated already, but slow him down halfway through and have that be the last elimination. But that was great. The way the Claymore over the ropes, it's one of my favorite eliminations probably ever, to be honest. The way it was amazing. It looked great.
Another great moment for me. Austin probably got this too. Edge returns in 2020.
It's the best return of all time, in my opinion. Not just best Rumble turn. I think it's the best return of all time. Personally, for me, even over CM Punk or other returns, that's the biggest return, best return of all time.
Ask me about this: which was the better return, Edge or Stone Cold at WrestleMania and wrestling that match?
Edge.
I will say Stone Cold.
Here's the reason why I say Edge. Stone Cold, we always know that there was a chance that could happen. Edge, nobody thought that was ever going to happen again.
That's fair.
Edge was supposed to be retired, could never wrestle in a ring again. Stone Cold, yeah, he had messed up, but he would always do segments and stuff, and he was always at WrestleManias doing stuff like that. He never had like a full-on match, but I just think Edge is better and bigger because of that fact, personally.
I do have to admit, though, I was surprised that Stone Cold did as much as he did that match.
He did. He did more than I thought. Marcus, I don't think Marcus said one yet. Before I say
well, let's see. I got all kinds of them. You remember WrestleMania 89?
Second one, right?
Yeah. Well, the first one kind of was a house show match, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
First two entrants, Axe and Smash.
Yep.
And then Andre was 3.
That's right.
And who eliminated Andre? And I'm going to start asking trivia questions.
I couldn't tell you. I haven't watched that one before.
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
Damien did because Jake the Snake come back out with that snake.
I've seen that clip. I've seen that clip before. He was scared.
I guess Andre eliminated himself. So
yep.
Now I watched another one, 2000. It was Grandmaster Sexy come in, and then Rikishi come in, and then Scotty Too Hotty come in, and then they started dancing. Remember that?
Yep.
Because the last 3 there, they all started dancing, and then Rikishi clotheslined them and threw them both up.
Yeah, that was a great one.
I watched that one earlier today too.
I'll go.
Oh, here we go.
I'll go with one that was definitely my childhood. 2007 Royal Rumble. We had a little mini match between Shawn Michaels and Undertaker as the last two. I think it's, to me, probably the best ending of a Royal Rumble for me. I loved that as a kid and still love watching it.
One I had Stone Cold stealing the Rumble in 1997 from Bret Hart.
I just watched that one like a couple hours ago.
Referee didn't see him get eliminated, and he comes back in and eliminates Bret Hart in 1997. Thought that was good. Another big debut, Austin. AJ Styles when he debuted in 2016.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Here's one I don't think anybody will have on their list. Real quick, I'll say. I think just because it was a huge pop, I watched it earlier and I remembered how much it was. Maven eliminating The Undertaker in Royal Rumble 2002.
I've got it on my list.
I didn't think you'd have that on your list. That pop was crazy.
Nobody would ever thought Maven would eliminate.
Yep.
And I think that's the only thing Maven ever did.
Sadly, and I think Maven he could have been bigger in WWE.
He has a YouTube channel. You guys need to watch that. He talks about it.
I've watched some of those clips. Yeah.
Another thing that I mentioned earlier, I really enjoyed was the Three Faces of Foley.
Yep, I had that right here.
Yep.
Really enjoyed it.
All right, I had well, Brett and Luger went over at the same time, so it was a double elimination. Then they went on to WrestleMania. But then when Batista and Cena accidentally went over by the double, and you had Vince McMahon like an asshole, and then Terry's hamstrings apart,
Squad.
or whatever happened, and he had to sit out.
That was awesome.
I had that on as well, and it's so crazy that wasn't planned because them two really did. Batista and Cena really did touch at the exact same time. I tried to pause it and see if there was one that touched first. They touched at the exact same time.
Yep.
Well, I don't know why they just didn't do what they did in WrestleMania 10 and just rewrite it a little bit. It wouldn't have hurt.
Another real good one too is, and this wasn't the Rumble, but as far as actual same time, when Mark is going to know this, the cage match with Orndorff and Hulk Hogan, both climbing out of the cage on opposite sides. And they both, I don't know how they did it, but they both hit that ground at the same time. and it was planned, but they did it. And that was awesome.
I'll go ahead and say a really recent one because I think it's one of the best finishes to any Rumble, in my opinion. The finish last year's Rumble of the women's, Rhea, Asuka, and Liv on the ropes. That is one of my favorite finishes of any Rumble. You had Asuka, all three of them on the ropes. You had Asuka do the miss, and then she gets eliminated, and then the way Rhea eliminates Liv. One of the best. I think it's the best Rumble for women. Is one of the best Rumble endings of all time, in my opinion.
I think that Rumble might have been the best women's Rumble, period.
That's where, I think it's my favorite Rumble.
Yeah, I agree.
It was really good.
Okay, asking what's your favorite Rumbles, guys? What's your my favorite, and Austin should know this, 1992 when Flair won it. That was one of my favorites. And the other one, might surprise a little bit, was 2020 because not only did Drew eliminate Brock Lesnar and shock everybody, he went on to win that Royal Rumble, and it was a really good.
Edge came back as well.
Edge came back, so it was really big. I think 2020 is one of the best Rumbles of all time.
As the actual match or the whole pay-per-view together?
The Royal Rumble match.
Okay, well, that's hard to tell because, like I said, I like all Royal Rumble, so it's hard to.
I can tell you one of my worst for sure, which I hate to say it, but I did not like the 2022 Rumble. Both matches, Brock winning and Rhea running, they both were sloppy, not entertaining. One of the worst Rumbles I've ever watched, which sucks because I usually have a good time watching Rumbles. I didn't like them.
What one was it that they ended up?
92's always been one of my favorite Rumbles.
Yeah, because Flair, man.
What was the one?
It's always been one of my favorite Rumble matches to watch.
Not only because of Flair. I think the reason that Rumble was so good, Marcus, why was it so
good?
What
you're gonna say?
You know what I'm gonna say.
Because I was gonna say the same thing.
Why was that Rumble so good?
I have no idea where you're going with that.
Bobby Heenan on commentary.
Oh yeah, Bobby Heenan was funny the whole night. Yes,
that made that Royal Rumble. Heenan did. He really did. I mean, Flair had a great performance. I'm not taking anything away from Flair.
But he helped Flair's performance with the way he was selling Flair's performance on the commentary.
Got to be fair to Flair.
It ain't fair to Flair. Somebody bring me some water. I need water.
What were you going to ask, Marcus?
He needs to be out there.
What was that Rumble where? Because they ended up airing it the very next night on Raw, where Big Show and Kane kept eliminating everybody, and the crowd was about to rush the ring because it was such bullshit. I
can't remember what year, but
what was the point? I don't remember why it got to that point where the whole crowd was hating it.
Who was eliminating everybody?
Big Show and Kane, and they aired the Rumble on Monday night.
That's the 2015 one, right? Where Roman won and The Rock came back.
Yep.
Because corporate came.
The fans went crazy because
2015
Roman won that, and they sent The Rock out to try to help Roman, and it didn't help.
Yeah.
They booed The Rock was mad because they booed The Rock.
Yeah, they booed The Rock too.
Yeah. I can't remember what year it was, but John Cena returned.
2008. I have that one on here.
Yep.
One of my favorite Rumbles, I'll say a couple. 2007's Rumble is always, like I said earlier, Undertaker and Shawn ending it. That's one of my favorites. And this one's probably a weird one because I don't think a lot of people have it high on the list, but I had the DVD, so I watched it as a kid a lot. The 2003 Rumble where Brock wins. I've always liked that one a lot. Brock and Undertaker are the last two.
Did Kurt Angle ever win a Rumble?
Sadly, no. He never. He only had.
He hasn't
I
been in
think he
too
ever
many
did.
of them.
He was only in like 3, and he only one of those. He was in it for like a decent time, and it was the 2002 one where Mr. Perfect got like third or second, and Triple H won. I just watched that one earlier, which is also a really good one. Yeah, he never won one. Neither did Chris Jericho, which is crazy.
Oh, well, and then I got trivia after we're done with this about the 2000 Royal Rumble.
Okay.
Jericho brought that up.
One thing Billy Buzz had asked on here, he wants to know when we think Punk is going to go off the deep end. I don't think he will.
No, I think Punk is fine, and I think he's gonna do. I think he's just gonna be just fine in WWE. I think he's at the point in his career he doesn't need to be the top star anymore. I think he had a lot of points when he left at the time because he was the top star, and him not being able to, main event WrestleMania and somebody come back doing it. But now I think he isn't at that point. I think he's gonna be just fine in WWE.
Well, I think he had some legitimate points, but I also don't think he handled it handled it the right way either.
But neither did WWE. I mean, technically,
No,
he did get fired on his wedding day.
I'm not saying they did either. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I think I understand his complaints, but I think it could have been handled better by both sides.
Well, I seen an interview with on Stone Cold's podcast, old one with Vince McMahon, and he publicly apologized for that. So that should have never happened.
Yeah, him getting fired on his wedding day. That's crazy.
Got the paperwork on his wedding day. He apologized for that.
Yeah.
They've been wedding present.
Yep.
Another thing, Rey Mysterio winning the Rumble of 2006. I know the whole thing with Eddie and everything that's looked at. A lot of people think a lot of different things about it, but him winning the Rumble the way he won it, I loved it. I still do.
What's your feelings on that? Do you? My feelings is they capitalized on something. It's a smart business move. Some people say, "Oh, they used this storyline, and Eddie was passed away, and they used it too much." As long, in my opinion, as long as they got the family's approval, I have no issue with it.
I think the biggest thing is they still tried to make Eddie like the big thing of the story, which I think is the best way to do it. I was okay with it, and I think it made sense with Ray. I know I can't tell if it's like him being real or not. I know Chavo always says stuff about it and all that, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a hard situation. I just don't like that they started booing Ray kind of when he won the championship because I don't think Ray deserved that. But
yeah, I think, and plus, not only that, they took care of Vicky and the family. They kept her around.
They had to take care of her the way they did. Then they just paid her off. Did she have to be on TV every week? Hey, excuse me, and all. Did they have to?
Hey, that could be one that might show up at the Rumble.
She came back last year. Yep.
I remember
but
when
I don't know.
They had that first one, that first ladies Royal Rumble, and they had to help Vicky out of the ring because she didn't know how to go over the top rope or land on the floor. And they were practically like carried her over the top and carried her down to the floor.
She was there for a long time.
Yeah, they kept her there for a long time.
Yep. Had a lot of big storylines with Edge, being married to Edge, which was great, and all that, being the managers and stuff.
Well, I also had all the Kofi saves.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, Titus O'Neil, how can you forget that?
Yeah,
in the world greatest. Yeah.
Okay, so then the Warlord had 2 seconds, and who lost that?
Santino Marella.
Won. But didn't you remember the Bushwhacker?
Yeah.
He came in there doing this. He got in, he knocked him out.
Well, just get ready to say when you mentioned Santino, he had some funny ass Royal Rumble moments too.
Santino almost won a Rumble, which would have been way better than who actually won the Rumble that year.
Who won the Rumble that year?
Alberto Del Rio.
That's the 40-man Royal Rumble.
Yep.
That was a trivia question last night. That's how I.
Yeah. And the crowd was going nuts because Santino was about to eliminate. The crowd wanted it, and honestly, I think it would have been funny, but it would have been cool. But Alberto won it.
He should have eliminated with the Cobra.
He hit him with the Cobra, I think.
Top rope.
Yeah.
He's in TNA now. It was like the
He's the commissioner.
Kind of a manager. Yeah.
He's the commissioner.
I'll throw in one more in there. Let me see. Royal Rumble 2021 women's. I think it was also a really good women's one. Ending was Bianca and Rhea. They had a little mini match between each other, and they were dangling on the side. It's the one that Bianca wins. That's also a really good ending, and possibly my second favorite women's Rumble. All the women's Rumbles are really solid in my opinion, but that one I thought that was really good.
Austin Billy did have a question earlier. We didn't address it. I think you've seen it. He wants to know when you're going to do some commentary.
Hey man, I mean, I would like to get on there and do it. It's just I work every other weekend. And I ain't trying to travel every weekend I'm off.
Okay, I got your date. I got your date that you can do some commentary with. March 30th, Bearcat Rumble. March 30th.
We'll see.
That's a Saturday night. At Central High School. It's in your hometown.
I ain't going in Central.
You've been to Central
February.
before. Hey, I'll tell you what. We'll do.
Hey, there's one February 17th, and he's off that weekend.
Yep, that's true.
Well, yeah, you do that. That's over to Armory.
That's in Muncie.
Yep, and hey, we'll do a special commentary. Me, Marcus, and Austin will go off, and we'll have you and Bobby do commentary.
That'd be pretty. That'd be good.
That would be awesome.
We'll see. I'm not against getting on there at some point. But.
Let me ask you, which would do play-by-play, and which would be the color guy? Also, I think you'd have to do play-by-play. Even though I think Bobby would know the moves better than you.
I'll be honest, I don't know the names of all the moves. I'll just be like, he hit him in the face.
That's why I'm glad your dad's on there, because he knows the moves.
And I know the moves. I just can't get them
from
my head to my mouth.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, you know more than I do, and that's
I know a lot of them, but there's sometimes they catch me with a couple that I don't know what they're called nowadays.
Well, there's
and I'm like,
a lot of them got different names.
I've heard that
I'd
called.
be stumbling over my words a lot.
Mark, do you have any more trivia?
Well, do you remember when Diesel was the surprise entrant? He'd already been NWO Kevin Nash, and he was a surprise. Pete Rose, wasn't he in a Rumble long enough for
Kane
to take him out? Didn't he do that 2 years in a row?
2001, I think.
He did Rumbles and he did some WrestleManias too, I think.
Maybe that's what it was. And then I had Nia Jax taking out R-Truth at the end and walking in there.
Actually, they should have won the Rumble. That's who they should have win the Rumble this year.
That's one of the
R-Truth. Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, I'm down for it.
R-Truth comes to the Rumble and brings the ladder.
My bad.
What a funnier one. Have R-Truth take out Nia Jax and get into the ladies' Rumble as payback.
Yeah. That'd be all right.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if they let R-Truth win. R-Truth, man, that dude's hilarious.
Well, now they got shirts made because that day he said he was looking for Tom and Nick. Instead of Dominic, he's called Tom and Nick.
Yeah.
He wants to know who's Tom and who's Nick.
Also, have you seen the interview he done with Busted Open?
You need to watch that on YouTube.
Oh yeah, you gotta watch that. That's hilarious.
He's in there with no shirt on, and Bully never give him a hard time. And at the end of the interview, he jumps up and he's in his underwear. He was sitting there doing the interview in his underwear. They were losing it, but Bully was losing it. He had them cracking up the whole damn time.
We haven't seen Carmella in a while either. Maybe she'll be a surprise.
I'm okay with not seeing her.
Yeah, I knew that. I just said that.
She pregnant?
I think they had the kid. I think that's why Corey was gone for a while.
Yeah, they had a kid.
Well, Lacey Evans. We hadn't seen her for a while. I'm just trying to think of old.
Yeah, she.
I don't think Lacey's gonna come back. Yeah, they had a falling out, and now she's doing like other stuff, kind of like Mandy Rose. I think she's doing the Mandy Rose stuff too.
She got a restaurant too. Do you think Mandy Rose comes back?
I'd be fine with it. I actually really liked her in NXT. I thought she was doing really good in NXT.
Tony Storm needs to come back.
I would love that, but she's all AEW got for the women's right now.
She's doing really well in AEW right now.
Oh, I
And
know.
I'm glad.
I'd rather. I've always liked her, but I just rather be back over.
I didn't think of this until now, but I mean, they could use Mako for a surprise entrance in the women's rumble. That'd be cool.
She's outstanding.
She's great. I've only seen her wrestle like twice, and every time she is just really, really good.
What I liked the other night on Raw with the New Day is that they said, "The hell with the pancakes, the hell with the cereal, the bootios, and all that stuff. We're ready to beat some asses. They're ready to kick ass." And
I'm just happy people are finally seeing what I've been seeing for years. Is Xavier Woods is one of the most underrated wrestlers in the last 10 years. On the mic, in the ring, he's the best on the mic out of all three New Day, and in the ring, he might be the most versatile in terms of all the moves he can do.
You think he's better than Big E on the mic?
Yeah,
I think he's a good ass. I mean, especially once he got an opportunity. He was always the third guy, so he never got the opportunity.
Xavier
and then
Woods
once these guys started getting hurt, he got the opportunity to prove.
No, I think he's good. I've always thought Big E was pretty good too.
Big E's really good on mic, but if you go back when like New Day was starting to get really popular, especially like Hill stuff, before they branched out and gave Kofi a belt and Big E a belt when they were mostly a trio, the mouthpiece was usually Xavier. He was usually the one that was consistently the mouthpiece. I've always thought Xavier was always really underrated. Of course, I love that Kofi and Big E got their championship. I'd give Xavier at least a mid-card title. United States or Intercontinental.
Well,
he deserves
I wish
it.
they would have did more with the King of the Ring because he was so excited to be the King of the Ring, and it went nowhere.
What they did is they had Roman beat him, and then he never did it again after that. And I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Well, guys, anybody got anything else? I'm looking forward to a real good Rumble. I think it's going to be. I got a feeling it's going to be a really, really one of the best Rumbles of all time. I got a feeling of that.
I'm pretty excited about it.
I think they've got so many. The star power that they've got now, they haven't had in years. I mean, do they have a Stone Cold? No. Do they have a Hulk Hogan? No. But look what they have, man. I mean, look at the baby faces that they got with the Cody Rhodes and the Punks and the Jey Usos and the Sami Zayn's hurt right now and the Kevin Owens I'm sure I'm leaving out names and the heels they got. I mean, they have a lot of star power on the men's and the women's.
Yep. I mean, the men's Rumble. I mean, already you Cody's in there, Gunther's in there, Drew's in there, Jay's in there, CM Punk's in there, I mean, there's a lot of. It's going to be a great Rumble.
They probably have more stars now than at one time than they probably have ever had.
Yeah,
and
they're doing a real good job of marketing them.
I don't think there's been any other. I don't think even any era you go to, I don't know if there's been this many this many guys or women or guys that are all over at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, and then you got the women's too. I mean,
Marcus, when do you think probably the biggest time? I think the most stars, and I think we're getting close to that now. I agree with what Chris is saying, but I think as far as stars, I mean, big name stars. I think the '80s we had more big name stars than we did the '90s.
Well, I was just going to say that. And
we have bigger superstars with like Stone Cold and the Hollywood Hogans and stuff like that. But I mean, if you look back at the '80s and you look at a Rumble, the people that would come out, I mean, there were.
No,
I mean, Tito Santana
Rumbles in the '80s, but
probably not to Austin, but Tito Santana was a big name. Greg Valentine was a big name. Mr. Perfect was big. I mean, every guy came out was a big name.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, 2000 to like 2010. I mean, you got the end of the Attitude Era with all those big names, and you got the start of the John Cena, Randy Ortons, and all the Edge all being over. Chris Jericho's still there, Rock, Stone Cold, Brock, all those big people. Undertaker's still there, Triple H, Shawn Michaels.
I agree with you as far as in-ring talent, but I'm thinking as far as name power, I think the '80s was big.
Bigger than Stone Cold, who's the biggest star ever, and The Rock, who's maybe the most biggest ever in terms of like popularity. And then you also got Shawn Michaels, who's looked at as one of the best. John Cena is the Hulk Hogan of the 2000s, if you have anything that compares to that. Chris Jericho is still there. Randy Orton is one of the best heels looked at all time. I mean, I get what you're saying, but for me personally, because that's what I grew up with, I think it's not far behind. I don't think it's far behind.
Yeah, I can't argue. I mean, I think it's close, but it just, I mean, just
Kurt too. Kurt Angle. I don't know how I forgot Kurt.
Yeah, Kurt Angle. I mean, yeah.
Daniel Bryan, well, kind of. He's more 2010s to 20s than. But
Yeah. What's your favorite era, Marcus?
Era for Royal Rumbles?
No, for wrestling period.
Oh, 80s. 80s number one because that's what I grew up with. I'm like Austin. That's what my beginning started off with. I like the 90s. The 2000s got kind of dumb when the acquisition between, WCW and WWF were trying to figure out what to do with each other and mix the talent and got this stupid storylines there.
Yeah.
And then they kind of got out of that, but yeah, 80s all the way because that's what I grew up with, and then 90s because I watched the NWO and then I turned around and was a big Stone Cold mark too. So
yeah, I would say the 80s for me. I would say the 90s Attitude Era. I also like the Ruthless Aggression era. I know a lot of people give WWE a hard time from 2010 to 2017, 18. I don't think it's near as bad as what people says it was. I still think it was a pretty good product.
I think they had a couple
But I tell you,
like. I'm sorry. You're good.
But the last year, I think that they've had one of the best years that WWE's ever had. I really believe it.
well, I've watched more pay-per-views, so they must have because normally I would read what everybody had to say, and then I determine if I wanted to go see it or not. Now I just watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think they've been on fire since these last 3 or 4 years post COVID. All the last 3 or 4 WrestleManias have been some of the best WrestleManias in forever. For me, 2005 to 10 is kind of like if I want to watch something that I could be entertained by. That's kind of like the sweet spot for me. Um, those 5 years, kind of like 2005, 2010. Kind of the end of the Ruthless and kind of the start of the PG. But
You like
other than
you
what were you
like
gonna
him.
say?
You liked Impact a lot during that time too, though, didn't you?
I did watch Impact a lot. That at that time, I think that was TNA back in the day. Around that time is the closest I've gotten to liking anything as much WWE outside of WWE. I personally think that version of TNA is better than I'm just anything AEW's done personally. But
It is. You're right.
We used
I
to
agree.
we used to get those TNA pay-per-views. I remember getting those.
I had the TNA game.
I got TNA. I got ECW. I got them all.
I,
They had that match where what was it? The X
The X
Division or
Division
whatever.
match. Yep.
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 I love that match, man. AJ Styles. I was a big AJ Styles fan in TNA. It's still a better theme than his WWE theme, by the way.
Marcus, did you ever watch much of TNA back then?
But not a lot.
Okay.
I
And
did
you can
like
find a
where
lot of
they
those
had that X
Yep.
wire.
Yep.
You
I
can
didn't
find a
know.
lot of those pay-per-views on YouTube for free. Ton of them.
Pluto runs. They have their own TNA
Channel.
channel,
Yeah.
and they just run it all the time.
Every now and then I'll put an old pay-per-view on and
Yep.
watch it on
Ultimate
YouTube.
X match.
Yep. But yeah, I would say other than like 2011, 12, maybe 13, WWE had a little, but personally, I think like the 2015 to 20 era I mean, SmackDown was being like really good at that time. You had AJ Styles back. John Cena was kind of showing that he can do a lot more in the ring at that time. He was having his United States run and all that, and you were having Randy and Bray. Bray winning the championship. I think WWE's been pretty solid the past 10 years, especially these last 5.
Well, people forget as far as house shows go, 2018, 2019, the house shows weren't doing very good. And there was talk after COVID hit, there was talk. A lot of people thought that the house shows were never going to come back because they were renting the buildings and they weren't making that much money. Merchandise sales wasn't doing that good. They wasn't doing well. And so then COVID hit and then came back and they went since COVID, they went like gangbusters.
Yeah,
And
I mean, sorry.
I think Triple H is killing it and all of his team. And another guy I got to see speak for the first time that I've watched him on the McAfee, that Nick Khan. Dude's a very smart dude, man. He knows what he's doing. And so
At least one con does.
yeah, well, yeah. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I think WB is at the top of their game for me personally. I mean, yeah, they're not perfect. They have stuff that gets my nerves, but in terms of consistency and entertaining storylines, matches, I think they're the best they've been in a long time.
I
And they
agree.
have the star power now. They have the wrestlers. You know, every era they might not have the best in the ring, but they have great entertainers. They might have the best entertainer, but not, or vice versa. But now I think they have a really good solid of everything. And the
Yeah.
women's division as well brings a whole nother thing. It's very entertaining right now.
Well, I think what the difference is, they had Vince. They still was putting on some okay shows and some good shows, some good pay per views, some good WrestleManias. But on the TV shows, at times Vince would put in some stupid stuff that he liked that didn't
Yep.
make no sense to other people. And now with Triple H in there, everything they put on the air is making sense. Now, do they hit a home run every time? Of course not. You're not going to be hit a home run all the time. But he's not striking out. He's either getting a single or a double or a triple. He's doing really well, and he's connecting all the dots. Everything's making sense, and I
Yeah.
think everybody's liking it so much better.
Yeah, I think, back, 10 years ago, so you have a funny segment or segment, it wouldn't really mean anything except just at that moment. But now any segment they do usually is going to connect and mean something down the line. So even just a stupid funny one like the R-Truth stuff, most likely he's probably going to get even turned on or something's going to have a Judgment Day, and or the damage control stuff. So yeah.
Hey, Joe. That's the guy that does the podcast down south.
Oh, cool.
No, and Vince McMahon, hell, he'd
Yep.
belittle people just for his own entertainment.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I said. So stuff would be so damn dumb. We'd be looking at it like, what the hell is he doing? Well, that's because Vince thinks it's funny, and he wants to belittle somebody in the ring, and they're not going to say no because then the paycheck will stop.
Yep. I
And
mean, let's think about
taking it serious. So,
yep. Let's think about one that's happened more recent, the Baron Corbin thing. When he got punished so bad, this was before, I think Vince was still in charge. He got punished that he was money in the bank. They made him lose it and ruined his whole character. And now he's back in NXT, which he's doing great in NXT. And I hope that his NXT will make him go back to the main roster and people will be more into him again. And hopefully he gets the belt because he had so much that he could have been a good champion.
I think he enjoys what he's. I think he enjoys being on NXT and doing what he's doing.
Yep.
he's doing
I
good.
think he
From
does.
an interview I saw with him, it sounded like he's happy.
Yeah.
He's happier now than what he's been in a few years away, from what I had heard.
Well, because the whole thing was, I heard that he wasn't even being disrespectful. He just was kind of not agreeing with somebody that was there with the company, and then he got punished, and that's why he lost the Money in the Bank and why he pretty much was getting what he was getting. So I'm happy that he's getting more praise now because I think he's been one of the most consistent they've had in the ring and doing what he can do with what they give him.
I think he can be. I think he can be difficult to deal with too.
Yeah.
He's a little crazy.
I tell you, I think
I like him. He's a little crazy. He played. He was on the Colts
and the Cardinals.
Yep.
He was on both.
Yep. I think the guy that I think in 2 years from now we're going to be talking a lot about Braun Breaker.
I'm here for it. I think what they've been doing with him lately is great. They were getting a lot of people turning on him when he was a face, and I didn't understand people saying he's underrated, overrated. Then he became a heel, and he was getting a little more. And now they're doing comedy. I think they're doing a really good job showing how versatile he can be. He's reminding me a lot of a Kurt Angle and honestly Scott Steiner mix because he's related to Scott, and of course you said his dad was like that too. But what they're doing with him is great right now.
He's so fast.
Did you hear?
He might have the best.
On McAfee when he was talking about how they almost had Tim Tebow and against the Big Show.
Yep.
Triple H contacted him because at that time Khan was a sports agent.
Yep.
Yeah. JC just told me that. Was he going to be that instead of Mayweather or something? Was it around that time? Or was that a little earlier than Tim Tebow?
I can't remember if he said the year or not.
I think that's earlier.
Yeah, Tim Tebow was more like 12, 13. I think the Mayweather and Big Show was like 8 or 9. Yeah.
And said that there was like they even had a meeting that nobody knew about, a big secret meeting with Tebow, Khan, Vince, I think Triple H, and all of them. I mean, it ended up not happening, but it sounded like it was close.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I think we're good to go. Anybody got anything else?
I don't think so.
Well, hey, everybody out there, enjoy that Royal Rumble on Saturday. I think it's going to be good.
Don't forget Monday.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that Monday, the Royal Rumble on our show at 6:30. But the big thing on Monday, we're going to be talking about the end of the year for 23. Be talking about our top fives, Marcus list, my list, Chris list, and we got 15 categories, and it's all stuff that we've seen. Marcus has seen seen 100 shows. What Marcus over eight?
He hasn't seen 100 shows. He's a casual fan.
800. Shut up. Over 800
It
matches.
has to be over 800 because I think I only went to
Oh yeah.
2 shows that maybe only had 6 matches.
Oh,
Most of them had 8.
over
Some of them
800.
had
Not
15.
that we've seen. What do
Let
you
me
think? 450?
because I know you went to three or four of those shows in Jeffersonville that had like 16 or 20
Yeah,
matches.
it was,
Oh, you set
So that helped your average right
well,
there.
you set what's his name?
Yeah,
shows?
and you went to a couple of
Thunder Brothers.
other
Let
Blunder
me ask-
shows. So
Let me ask one question because I don't even know if I've been to 100 shows my whole life. How many shows do you think you've been to total ever?
oh, I don't know. I hit 62 in 2001, and then my job kind of did where I didn't hit as many. We did 30 in 19, 5 in 2020 because of COVID. That was terrible. We did 35 in 21. We did 69 in 22, and we did 100 last year. So right there's close to 300, 200
So you
plus.
think maybe all time, maybe close to 500?
Yeah, I imagine so.
And that's not counting your WWE shows.
That's
and
just
all that.
that's just indie shows, right?
I probably got maybe 50 big time events under my belt.
I think I've probably been close to probably 50 total.
And I've seen Hulk Hogan many times, but I hear you haven't.
Well, that was he didn't because that was way, but he never did it.
I never got to see Hogan live. Every time I was supposed to, never showed up.
And I've seen Hogan probably a dozen times.
I just
Yeah, I don't even know how many of the big time shows I've been to. Probably,
We went to a lot when you was young.
I would say
I've only went to one. What the heck,
We were-
man? You just
we
stopped
were-
when I was born?
No, you went to more than one.
Not
they
big
get so
time. Not
expensive.
like pay-per-views. Not pay-per-views.
no.
I
I'm,
mean, we
I'm
count
talking
house
about. I'm
shows,
talking about
house
like
shows.
WWE
Just house shows.
or AEW,
Yeah.
not independent stuff.
Raw, SmackDown.
When I
Oh,
first
see,
started,
hey, I never got to go to a pay per view when
No.
I was a kid.
Hey, that's the only pay per view I've been to.
It was a great one too.
Oh, it was a good one.
There's 3 things I want to do before I want a Royal Rumble. I want to go to Royal Rumble. I want to go to WrestleMania, and I want to see Elimination Chamber live. Those are the 3 wrestling things I want to do. Because Elimination Chamber has always been one of my favorite matches.
I've probably been to over. I know over 100
I don't know if I've
Between
been. Yeah, I'd say closer to 50 for me.
between all the ones that I went to with him and then the ones I went to when I was younger. Yeah, I
I remember when I first started doing WWE, tickets were $12. $12. Now I remember I went to 13, and the last
can't park your car. You can't
tickets I
park your
bought,
car
I
for
think, were
$12.
$70 tickets a piece, and that was in 01, and then they just got ridiculous.
You can't park your car for $12. Hell, you could barely get a Coke and a hot dog for $12.
Mark, the first concert I went to, I remember it was John Mellencamp and Hart,
Shocked.
and the ticket was $12. It was 19.
Yeah. Now, if you want to go see Mellencamp,
80.
you're gonna pay a couple $100 at
Maybe
the
81.
least.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Up in the balcony was $210.
I think the tickets because we was at Buried Alive, and I think those were. I don't think we spent more than $50 for both of them.
Well,
Me and Kelly Bowles.
Tickets for that Detroit Lions game last week were like over $1,000. Was like the cheapest tickets.
Yep.
Go Lions. I'm being a bandwagon for the Lions.
Well, I don't know how that green shirt dude does it, unless he's just a plant with the WWE, because
He's got to be connected somehow.
he
He's
has
got
to.
to be.
He has to be.
He's even a relative, or a very close, business person. I don't know. He is connected somehow because it's the exact same seat every pay-per-view. That dude's even super, super wealthy, or he's
He might be a
related to somebody high.
He might be a board member. Who knows?
Well, it has to be something. Because how do
Yeah.
you get the same seat every? That's not. You don't pick those seats. They pick them for you, basically.
Yeah, he's very connected.
Maybe he owns that barricade in front of him, and he just walks in, sets it down. He's in the middle of it. I don't know, but
Maybe he's part of the company that sets up all the stages and stuff for him. Well,
well, if you
he's got
watched that Superfan thing on the network, and I didn't care for it,
I haven't watched it yet.
but they knew him because that guy would travel around and be in the front row, and it's like, well, I don't know how you're doing that.
that needs to be the next Dark Side ring. We need to know all the ins and outs of what happened for him to get there.
I've seen they released all the dark sides of the rings are going to be.
I think they were going to be good.
Yeah.
Well, what's some big ones? Any ones that I'd be interested in?
Beefcake.
Kurt Angle.
Yeah,
They're doing a Kurt Angle one.
Yeah, about his drugs.
Yeah.
One I'm really interested in is Chris Adams.
Hang on, I'll pull him up here in a minute.
I'm
I'm surprised we didn't think of that. The murder of Chris Adams, because they did Gino Hernandez.
Yep.
Hang on, man, I'll pull him up here. Well, maybe I will.
Angle will be good.
Oh yeah. Since we're talking about this, just a question just popped in my head: Is Snuka technically still in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
You didn't think he should be, though.
No, he definitely should not be. I was just curious if he still technically was. I figured he was.
Just think, before Hogan came around, he was a lot of people think he was going to be the Hogan.
Well, he went so long. They knew he had done that back then.
Yeah,
He just kept it hush hush.
Yeah, it seemed like there might have been a little cover up, but I don't want to say anything like that for sure.
And that's funny because now
I'm a big Chris Adams fan. That's the inventor of the what, Mark Austin? The
I don't know.
Super kick.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes. That's where the super kick came from.
Now it's used by everybody. Nobody will ever do as good as Sean, though.
British Beefcake.
I'll tell you what.
We're going to do one on Harley Race. Beefcake, Harley Race, Kurt Angle, Chris Adams, the Sandman. That ought to be
crazy.
And Buff Bagwell will be.
Ooh.
And Black Saturday. You know what Black Saturday is?
He probably don't. That's when, of course, NWA was on Turner PBS, and WWE got the rights, and Vince McMahon went on the station, and fans went crazy.
Yeah, because he took over the airways.
Huh.
Showed up on the NWA, and
he sold listen to this, Austin. He sold the rights back to the NWA for $1 million, took that $1 million, and that's how he did the first WrestleMania.
Dang. That's
he
crazy.
He took that $1 million and all of his other money, went all in. If WrestleMania would have failed, he would have been done right there.
That's crazy.
You know, the way he's going now, season 6 of Dark Side of the Ring will be nothing but Vince McMahon episodes.
Well, and the interesting thing, they got a great big documentary that's going to be on Netflix about Vince McMahon, and they said it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
These are some good ones. A few years ago when they were doing some of that FTW and all that, it's like you're just searching for stuff to put on there, and nobody cares about this stuff. But
the Buff Bagwell one could be pretty interesting. I've met him before.
Who's that?
Buff
Bagwell.
Well, he's coming in the area. He's gonna be in Lafayette.
I met him a long time ago. Him and Stein.
He's doing a seminar. I remember right.
He was really nice when I met him when I was like 8.
I went and see that. Or I put on that pay-per-view long enough to see him haul Judy Bagwell out on that pallet.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's where wrestling went terribly, terribly south.
Yeah.
Because when they were coming up with crap like that. Here we go. And his mom called in. It'll be interesting to see if they bring that up.
Yeah.
That Judy Bagwell called Jim Ross says, "My boy ain't coming to work today," and see if.
Oh, Austin, let me ask you this: would you pop for this? There is some rumors right now. Jim Ross is not under contract with AEW. Would you pop if Jim Ross showed up on SmackDown Friday night?
I mean, I'd be fine with it. I like Jim Ross, but I don't think he really can bring much to the commentary right now.
I think he should be special. I think that he should be out.
Right,
but I mean, for maybe one match, for the main event, or
I think it'd be better. He can come to the Rumble or something.
I don't think
he just do the Rumble match or something.
He should be on a whole show for the. I just don't think he can do it anymore.
No,
I loved him on commentary growing up, but yeah, I mean, I don't think he can do it anymore. If he comes to like the Rumble and does the matches, that'd be pretty cool. I'm down for that. But
I'd like to hear Jesse Ventura get on commentary again every so often.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen WWE.
Oh, I know it won't happen, but he was still. I was listening to him in Monsoon on one of them Royal Rumbles and forgot how funny that stuff really was.
I'm wondering if McAfee's not coming back on SmackDown.
He might
on commentary. I'm wondering if
who's gonna be the lead commentary.
You seen that? I mean, that Patrick not only he got fired today.
Yep.
Which kind of sucks. I get taking more comment. It kind of sucks that all the backlash from the fans got him fired as well. But
I don't think it was that bad.
I don't think he should have got. If he got fired because of the fans' reaction, I think that kind of sucks. I don't think he deserved to be fired. But I don't know. I heard that he was pretty good for a soccer commentating and stuff. So hopefully he does good with that and stuff. I heard he's really good at that. So
yeah,
I didn't personally mind him though. Didn't mind him.
Yeah, he'll be somewhere doing you can get. I mean,
yeah. I thought
commentary. There's always people looking for.
I thought he was gonna get to stay with the company and work with the company because he's a pretty good backstage interviewer, pretty good host.
That's what they did for Byron. But then again, I like Byron on commentary personally. I'd be okay if they brought Byron back.
Yep. Well, okay, guys.
All right.
Get out here. Everybody have a good night. Have a good Royal Rumble on Saturday.
Thanks for joining us. Also, we'll be live Sunday at 3 o'clock for Warrior Pro Wrestling, Danville, Indiana.
We'll have a Rumble that day.
And a cage match and a hair versus career match.
Jeez.
Yeah, you don't miss that.
Join us live on YouTube and Twitch at 3 o'clock Eastern time on Sunday.
Should be a real good show.
For that, it should be a real good show. Like you said, Monday we'll be doing the award show. And then if you're in the sports betting, tomorrow, 3 o'clock, we'll be doing our sports betting show. We'll give out our picks for this weekend. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. Like and follow on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. We appreciate everybody watching and see you next time.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this podcast forever, and this is the worst damn podcast I've ever been on.